Mastering ISF Risk Assessment, Best Practices. Welcome back to our video series on customs brokerage and international trade. In today's episode, we will be discussing ISF risk assessment tools and best practices. Risk assessment plays a crucial role in the importer security filing (ISF) process, ensuring the safety and security of shipments. By understanding risk assessment tools and adopting best practices, importers can enhance compliance and minimize potential risks. Let's dive in. Importance of risk assessment in ISF. Risk assessment is a critical part of the ISF process as it helps identify potential security risks associated with imported goods. Through risk assessment, importers can take proactive measures to address and mitigate identified risks, ensuring smoother and more secure customs clearance. Understanding risk assessment. Risk assessment involves the systematic evaluation of potential risks associated with imported goods. It considers factors such as the goods' nature, origin, shipping route, trade partners, and other relevant elements to evaluate the level of risk associated with the cargo. Analyzing security risks. Risk assessment tools enable importers to analyze the security risks associated with their shipments. These tools consider various factors, including historical data, intelligence information, and data analytics, to identify and understand potential security vulnerabilities. Integration of data sources. Risk assessment tools integrate data from various sources to provide a comprehensive analysis of security risks. These sources may include manifest data, vessel and shipment history, container tracking information, and information gathered from regulatory agencies or intelligence databases. Collaboration with customs authorities. Importers collaborate with customs authorities during risk assessment processes. Customs authorities provide valuable guidance on risk factors, intelligence reports, and known security threats, enabling importers to enhance their risk assessment strategies and implement appropriate risk mitigation measures. Evaluating security vulnerabilities. Risk assessment involves evaluating security vulnerabilities in the supply chain. These vulnerabilities can encompass various aspects, such as weak points in information flow, gaps in physical security measures, or potential risks related to trade partners or shipping routes. Identifying high-risk shipments. Through risk assessment, importers can identify high-risk shipments that require additional security measures or inspections. By focusing resources on high-risk cargo, importers can effectively allocate security resources and ensure that potential security threats are properly addressed. Developing risk mitigation strategies. Upon identifying security risks, importers should develop risk mitigation strategies. These strategies may include enhanced physical security measures, collaboration with supply chain partners for information sharing, or additional screening procedures to reduce the risk associated with specific shipments. Ongoing monitoring and evaluation. Risk assessment is an ongoing process. Importers should continuously monitor and evaluate the effectiveness of their risk mitigation measures and update their strategies as needed. This includes staying informed about emerging security threats and adapting to changes in the global security landscape. Compliance with security standards and regulations. Risk assessment should align with relevant security standards and regulations. Importers must stay updated on applicable guidelines set by regulatory authorities, industry associations, or international security standards organizations to ensure compliance with security requirements. Collaboration with industry partners. Collaboration with industry partners, such as customs brokers, logistics providers, and other supply chain stakeholders, enhances risk assessment capabilities. Sharing information, best practices, and intelligence data helps create a more robust risk assessment framework across the supply chain. Data security and confidentiality. Importers should prioritize data security and confidentiality during the risk assessment process. Safeguarding sensitive information, encryption of data, and strict access controls help protect against unauthorized access or misuse of critical risk assessment data. Training and education for employees. Importers should invest in training and education for their employees involved in the risk assessment process. Providing knowledge and awareness about security risks, emerging threats, and best practices enhances the effectiveness of risk assessment measures. Continuous improvement and innovation. Importers should strive for continuous improvement and innovation in their risk assessment practices. This may involve implementing new technologies, data analytics tools, or exploring emerging methodologies to enhance risk assessment accuracy and efficiency. Compliance audits and reviews. Regular compliance audits and reviews are essential to ensure that risk assessment activities remain effective and aligned with security standards. Internal audits and external assessments can identify areas for improvement and help importers stay compliant with security regulations. Collaboration with regulatory authorities. Importers should establish effective communication and cooperation with regulatory authorities involved in security and risk assessment. Authorities provide guidance, share security-related information, and facilitate compliance with regulatory risk assessment requirements. Industry benchmarks and best practices. Becoming familiar with industry benchmarks and best practices is important to gauge the effectiveness of risk assessment efforts. Importers can reference industry publications, participate in industry forums, or engage with industry associations to stay informed about emerging trends and best practices. Risk assessment is a vital component of the ISF process, ensuring the safety and security of shipments. By utilizing risk assessment tools, adopting best practices, and collaborating with industry stakeholders and customs authorities, importers can effectively identify and mitigate security risks. Thank you for watching today's video, and please stay tuned for more informative content on customs brokerage and international trade.